It's time now for business, and U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said on Wednesday that the Fed would wait for more data on the economy's direction before changing interest rates. But he cautioned that President Donald Trump's tariff policies risked pushing inflation and employment further from the central bank's goals. And for more on this, we can go once again to Jameel Ahmad, Chief Analyst at GTC. Good morning, Jameel, sorry. Global markets are basically are selling off more or less as Jerome Powell made this announcement. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So we had some more pessimistic comments overnight, not just from the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, who's the leader of the U.S. Central Bank, but also from the WTO, the World Trade Organization, who suggested that world trade is really going to be stuck in a negative spin based on all this tariff uncertainty. But moving back towards Jerome Powell, what the Fed chair said was basically that there might be some conflict of interest and tension between two of the Federal Reserve's major goals, which is controlling inflation in light of tariffs and economic growth, which naturally is going to be weakened by this tariff uncertainty. And basically, he did not say or commit one way or another towards a potential change in interest rates, which upset investors because we have roughly an 80% chance of an interest rate cut in June, if we go by the investor bias. But the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, did not want to give anything away overnight.
And meanwhile, in commodities, gold hit new record highs, while oil prices also moved higher on Wednesday.
Another day, another record high for gold. Gold prices went above $3,350 for the first time ever. Seems to be still driven by this tariff uncertainty and concerns over the global economic outlook. Oil is a bit more of an interesting call because it moved higher following those comments of the Trump administration, which were, again, pretty negative on Iran and suggesting that Iranian tensions are going to boil up again over the coming months. That's why we had oil prices move a little bit higher. I'm a bit unsure as to whether that trend will continue, though.
And what can we look out for from the European Central Bank interest rate decision, which is expected later today?
The market probability is high of another interest rate cut from the European Central Bank in a couple of hours from now. But I would also look towards the expectations that are given and the commentary from ECB President Christine Lagarde towards what she thinks about all of the trade tariffs and the trade tension, trade war uncertainty. And I think that's also going to play its hand towards how the European Central Bank moves over the coming months and what kind of reaction we might have from the European Union when it comes to tariffs.
Thank you very much for that, Jameel Ahmad, Chief Analyst at GTC. Now you're watching Daybreak on France 24.